Hungry Gaijin. Thank you for joining me for dinner tonight. Tonight is one of my favorite meals. I have some grass-fed rump steak, which you can see right here. I have some grass-fed rump steak, which is the main dish. This is actually what we would call a surf and turf. I learned that phrase back in the States when I went to a restaurant and I wanted some steak and some seafood, and I couldn't decide between which one I wanted. And then they had something called steak and surf, or whatever you call it, and you get the grass-fed rump steak. We have some shrimp, some scallops, and it looks good. It's delicious. Of course, we have a salad. We have your carbs. We have some salad, and for dessert, we have some honeydew and some watermelon. So let's not watermelon, pineapple. Anyways, it looks good. It's hot, so let's dig in. Itadakimasu. Let's see here. So first, I like to start off with the salad with the vegetables, and you can see this is there's some bok choy, some cabbage, some red and yellow bell peppers, and some normal cabbage, spinach, red cabbage, and all sorts of good stuff. So cheers. Boom. Next, have a little bit of the shrimp. Mmm. Oh, very good. I like shrimp. I like it in a variety of foods. So you get like the fatty meat with the rump steak. Well, it's a little fatty, and you get the really lean protein with the shrimp and the scallops. So you get a nice variety, and you get like different kinds of tastes. I like to do my salad with chopsticks because it's easier to get the food into your mouth actually than with a fork and knife, or at least I found that. But for the steak, you need to go with the fork and knife. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's the way to go. There we go. Oh, very good. Just double checking to make sure everything's okay here. Yep, there we go. We're good to go. Okay, so this is dinner. Usually I cook dinner for myself because it's cheaper than if you were to eat at a restaurant, and you get better, like higher quality food. It's really hard to argue with that. Cheaper, better food. Although I will admit though, I cheated on the salad. This is a supermarket salad that I put onto a plate. Although the bok choy is something I added myself, as well as the potatoes. I grilled those myself. Good. Some more shrimp here. And I love eating. And eating is so awesome. There's actually there's a lot of food, but I'm actually on a diet. By that I mean I'm eating in a caloric deficit, and it's amazing that you can eat all of this food and still lose weight, which is one of the benefits for eating clean, or eating yeah, clean, I would say. By that I mean eating stuff that you would find in nature. Got some water as well. So let's dig into that steak while it's still warm. Grilled the steak on the Foreman grill. That looks good. That's a little bit of pig, maybe medium I would say. Looks perfect to me. It's always a balancing act, because if it's too rare, it's hard to eat and it's kind of chewy. But if it's too well done, it doesn't taste good. I mean, it does taste good, but could taste better. So you need to get the right medium. It's about 6 minutes on the Foreman grill, I found, for this thickness of steak at 425 degrees. Mm. That was good. And so much food to eat. It takes me a while to eat my meals. It takes me about 30 minutes or so. Of course, it depends if I'm talking with anyone, if I'm eating with anyone, or if I'm just sitting there looking for a new YouTube video while I'm eating and doing YouTube. Then I eat pretty fast. It's got some scallops as well for the surf and turf. Man, whoever thought of the surf and turf, they should be promoted. Because like I said, I went to a restaurant back in the States, and I wanted some seafood, because, lobster, shrimp, scallops, delicious. But I also wanted some steak, because cow is delicious as well. And I'm looking down the menu, and it's like steak this, shrimp that, or you can get both with the surf and turf. So ever since then, it's been one of my go-to meals I like to cook at home. Mm. Ooh. This is Australian grass-fed rump steak. I ordered this online. It's fairly cheap. You get 500. No, you get a kilogram of it for about 25 bucks or so. Give or take. So that's a pretty good deal. That's about, or that is, 4 250-gram servings for 20 bucks, 25 bucks or so. So it's quite a good deal. Much better deal than you would get in a supermarket here in Japan. The steaks in the Japanese supermarkets are so expensive, and yeah, and they're very like fatty, which tastes good if that's what you're looking for. But if you want like a leaner cut of steak for a reasonable price, shopping online is the way to go. I've got some mini potatoes here. I like the mini potatoes because I want to eat about 200 grams of potatoes per meal. And it's easier to weigh them out if you get like a big potato like this guy, and then you put some little smaller potatoes on the side to help to level it off right about 200 grams. Makes it easy to do. Mm. Mm. These guys, I put them in the microwave, nuke them on high for about 5 minutes. Perfect. And you can pretend they're kind of like they're like donut holes, but they're not. They're like healthy donut holes because it's not fried dough. It's potatoes, and it's not fried. But you can use your imagination. Now, remind me though, like I said, this was most of this besides the bok choy was a supermarket salad. It's not as fresh as if you buy your own pieces of the salad and make it yourself. By making, I mean, you get the bell pepper, you cut it up. You get the greens, you tear them up, you cut them up. You prepare it that way. It's fresher. It tastes better. It's not as cheap though. It's a little bit more expensive. But with the quality, I would say it's definitely worth it. Oh, that watermelon's quite good. Well, that was a good piece right there. Not watermelon, pineapple. Sometimes I get my colors confused. Sometimes I get my fruits confused. Steak is good. Actually, this seafood is a little bit cold, so I'm gonna nuke it for a little bit. I'll be right back. Get myself a plate here. I bought the seafood boiled, or I should say, it came pre-boiled, and you buy it at the supermarket. So it looks really good, but it's a little cold, so it doesn't taste as good as it could. So I'm going to move this over here, nuke it. I would say 2 minutes. Now we'll try 3 minutes, see how that goes. Be right back. Okay, my seafood is now in the process of being heated. It should be good. Should be even better, I'd say. As you see, it's marketed, that seafood is marketed as like boiled shrimp and boiled scallops that you can eat like nama, you can eat just without cooking it anymore. At the same time, I do want to cook it because hot food tastes better than cold food. Have another potato. Uh-oh. You can see the steak. Nice pink, a little bit of red in there. It's good to go. Oh, that shrimp is making some odd noises. Uh-oh, some popping and stuff. I hope nuking it's okay. We'll find out though. If my place explodes, then it's not okay. If I survive and the food tastes good, then it is okay. Let's try some of the honeydew, the melon. Sweet. Melon is sweet, melon is good. Fruits make it the perfect dessert, especially once your palate, like once you're used to eating very natural foods, then desserts, I should say fruits, make a great dessert because they taste really sweet compared to like the rest of the food you're eating if you're just eating meat, veggies, and potatoes. I'm gonna move my ring to my other hand. Let's introduce the chopsticks. You didn't see that. Chopstick explosion, food goes all over the place. I'll clean up later. I have another one of these donut hole potato guys. Pretend like it's a donut hole, but it's actually a potato. Oh, that's perfect. Just nuke it 5 minutes, you're good to go. Rinse it off first. Then poke a hole in it and nuke it, and you're good. So the shrimp and scallops have been nuked. I'll be right back. Alright, there we go. I actually put these right up there in the center, kind of make like it did look like a Mickey Mouse with the mouse and mouse ears, and now he's got another hat on. So they're smoking, they're steaming. Now let's see how they taste compared to before. Let's see here. Blow on the food. I was wondering, does blowing on the food actually cool it down? I don't think so, because my breath's not that cold. I'm not like Superman. I can just blow freezing breath and make stuff cold. Oh, good. And definitely tastier. It has a bit more, feels a bit more solid, I would say. Let's try one of these scallops here. Pretty light, pretty untasty, without flavor. Pretty plain. I almost said pretty vanilla, but I don't like using vanilla as a derogatory term, because vanilla is delicious. Like vanilla ice cream is one of my favorites. Perhaps my favorite. Steak's good. Good. Oh, that was a really good piece of steak right there. Grass-fed rump steak. Highly recommend it. It's my favorite cut of beef because it's lean and it tastes good, but it's not too dry. Okay. Yep, it doesn't look like, let me say, yep. Pineapple tastes good. And it all tastes good. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this stream. Is let people know that eating healthy, or I should say, eating in a caloric deficit can taste really good, and you can lose weight. Now look at this. It's easy to eat this all right. Like this is good food, tastes good. You want to eat it. And the difficulty can be preparing it, or if you go out to eat, getting food made good. Like if they have a steak, they might cook it in butter, and you want it if it tastes good. But if you're trying to like eat, again, on a diet to lose weight, then you would want your steak not cooked in butter. Unless you chose to, but. Steak this good does not need butter. Okay. However, there's these shows on in Japanese TV of people eating food, much like this, but very over exaggerated. By that I mean they would go into a restaurant. it'd be this big song and dance about how the dish is made and prepared. Then they have like one bite, right? They have one bite like this. Pretend that this is a restaurant TV show, and this is something like gourmet, heavily produced, prepared piece of food, right? And like all the TV cameras looking at the food, and it's all like sparkly and like, wow, look at the food. And then the guy would eat it. Mmm, how good. Wow. My, as they would say in Japanese. And yeah, it's a bit over exaggerated, but you know, food, really good food does taste that good. See here. Digging this medium-sized potato. I bit hard. I cooked that one for 10 minutes. Too big. This big one can go for 10 minutes, but the smaller ones need to go for 5 minutes. Yeah, that was unfortunate. After this, I was thinking of playing some games, playing some Legends of Cold Steel 2, but I actually didn't have it on Twitch, so I didn't know how I could stream it or select it as like the game you're currently playing if it's not there. So maybe I'll look a little bit harder. Maybe I was misspelling something like trials or trials versus trials. I think it's trials in the sky, like trials of cold steel, not trials. It's not like trials in the sky. Anyways, I'll check on that. Tastes good. This is only so many times I can say it tastes good, but it tastes good. Let's see here. Pineapple, like this guy, right? The yellow stuff, tastes good. It goes well with meat, and especially there's Brazilian barbecue chains here in Tokyo, or I guess throughout Japan, and they'll always serve you. They cut off the meat and serve it to you at your table, but they also come by with some pineapple, and it really goes well with the meat and the steak and pineapple for like the sweetness. And you cannot go wrong with rump steak. But you can go oh so right. Man, I'm pretty sad that's the last of the steak for tonight. Now we can move the fish dish the over here. The seafood dish, not actually fish. Are shrimp and scallops fish? Because they swim in the sea, but I wouldn't necessarily call a shrimp a fish. That's something I have to look up on Wikipedia. Let's do that right now. Is shrimp a fish? Wikipedia. Shrimp. It's a crustacean. Crustacean. Yep, that's it. A large, diverse arthropod taxon, which includes crabs, lobsters, crayfish, shrimp, krill, woodlice, and barnacles. The more you know. Okay. Oh man, we're almost finished here. At least we still got some more dessert to go. That's always funny eating the dessert. That we're down to only 2 dishes left. Let's clear the palate. I like saving the potatoes, the carbs, or the starchy carbs, along with the fruit for, well, I guess fruit's dessert, so you save that for last. But having the potatoes too for last, the carbs are always like good. And, well, keep in mind, veggies are carbs, fruits are carbs, and potatoes are also carbs, but it's not like stereotypical carbs like bread or pasta. Well, I guess potatoes are like stereotypical carbs. What I mean to say is, people ask me, Rich, like, what do you do for carbs when they see the meals I eat? I'm like, well, I get carbs from my veggies. I get carbs from the fruits, and of course from the potatoes as well. But because the meat and the fruit and the salads take up so much, I would say, a bigger portion of my meal than other people are used to, then it looks like I'm on a low carb diet. But I'm actually pretty high carb. Well, not pretty high carb. I would say my carbs and proteins are about the same. You know, I have a little bit more protein. I'm aiming for about 175 grams of protein a day and about 150 carbs per day. But it's all kind of like relative in how you calculate it. So what that means for me is I'm eating each meal. I have 2 meals a day. Each meal I'm eating 250 grams of meat. That's the weight uncooked. And then for potatoes, 200 grams of potatoes. Again, that's the weight uncooked. Alright, that's perfect. I don't know what it is about these potatoes, but they're just a little bit buttery, just a hint of butter. But the sweetness is nothing compared to the sweetness of the pineapple. And the melon. Mmm. Honeydew is such a great name for a melon, right? Because you could call the melon, you could name it green melon. That sounds pretty simple. Not that there's anything wrong with simple, but you could call it honeydew melon. Honeydew melon. Now that makes it sound so much more tasty, so much more, I want to say natural, but more like made of nature. That's what I'm looking for. It sounds so much more made of nature, a fruit of nature. Like literally, it is a fruit of nature. Again, some good potatoes. Always good potatoes. Always good everything. Because I made it, and I choose my own food. And that's why I like eating at home instead of eating out. Because at home it's cheaper. You get to choose the food you want to eat, and it's higher quality. I guess the only demerit is that you'd have to invite people over in order to share your meal with people, especially like if you go home after work, just cook by yourself, eat by yourself, and that's that. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this social eating streaming, because apparently it's a thing now, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. See how it turns out. So far, we have 0 viewers, so it looks like it's turning out quite well. I wonder if I increase the video preview to see my live stream. I wonder if that'll give me an extra viewer, that being myself. That'd be kind of sad. It's like, yeah, I got a viewer. Oh, it's me. But I'm not sure what would be even sadder if it didn't count. So I'm watching the video preview and it doesn't count as a viewer. So 0 viewers, fantastic. Let's see here. Nobody in the chat room, nobody in the chat stream, just me. But I am streaming, so that's good. Social eating. Yeah. Oh, those potatoes are good. Like 06 potatoes, they sell at the Tokyo store supermarket. Again, highly recommend it. If I'm eating it, I highly recommend it. Why would you eat something that you don't recommend? That doesn't make any sense. I just ate that off of my jeans and broadcast it to everyone. But 0 viewers, so it's safe, no problem. Yeah, I don't know what it is about those potatoes, but they are some good potatoes, those guys. Alright, well that's about it for dinner tonight. Thank you for joining me. I'll be eating brunch, like breakfast, lunch, my first meal of the day, tomorrow at 11 a.m. JST. It'll give or take, but it should be about 11 a.m. So I'll see you then, and go see some of this. Thank you for the meal, and I'll see you next time.